Well, hello everybody. Welcome to the end of season highlight reel for the Midwest eSports Rally Cup. Up first here is El Majacco in his first few stages in New England. Let's see what he's got. Blind reacts. I have yet to actually watch him rally at all, and well, he really kicked our tail this season, so this will be really interesting to see what he does differently compared to someone like me. Slight mistake there, but he has recovered from it nicely. Nice handbrake turn there. You know, that's one thing I'm quite interested about is how much he uses the handbrake. It does look like he does use it quite a bit. Me personally, really only using that handbrake when we're going into you know, tight apex corners, such as hairpins and whatnot, and maybe the ones and the square rights and lefts. So him using that even in these 3s and 4s is going to be something I'm going to look to try to use next season. But right now, I mean, this is incredibly clean. Only the one hiccup in the beginning. Here's the first hairpin corner here to the right. Oh, that could have been done a little better, I'll be honest, but not bad at all. Now, if he has a corner where he makes a mistake, it'll be made up for in just the overall cleanliness of his driving. So let's see. Not even halfway through the stage yet, he's already green in that first sector, meaning he is the fastest.
6 right, extra long, tightens 5 over crest.
It's interesting, it looks as if he's using his... He's got the setting for the co-driver to actually read off the calls quite early. I have it sometimes a little bit later, just because I'll tend to forget what he actually says before we get to the corner, so it's interesting to see.
Cut 4 left, into 5 right long.
I'm actually quite in awe of how clean this stage is going right now. This is actually really impressive. Maybe a little wide through that corner. That's a nice recovery there. That's the thing, if you have a mistake, it is really about recovering as quickly and as cleanly as you can. That is, a lot of the time, what does make the difference, and you know, what really will shave off a few seconds of your run.
3 right, tightens over crest. Into slow.
3 right coming up here. Nicely done.
Unseen. 3 right long, tightens narrow.
A little bit early on the brakes there. I think he could have taken that one a little bit longer, but yet again, he's about a minute faster than me typically, so I'm not going to complain.
Into 6 right, and 3 left long.
Has to be said, just his overall composure is so impressive in this run so far. These are blind reacts as well. I've only just thrown the compilation together. I've not actually watched it until now, and he's taken that square left brilliantly as well. He just knows when to pick his braking zone.
30, 6 right of a crest, 30, slow, 4 left long, tightens turn.
And I like how he stays confident over some of these sudden crests as well before the corners. That is really a tricky part of the stage to get correctly, is sometimes when you have those corners that come up after the crest and you can't quite see over, and you have to just trust that the road is there. And he's doing that so well. That is really something I need to work on personally, and that is a huge thing that he's got going for him there. Another hairpin coming up here. Let's see if he takes it better than the first one. He's braked really early. Yeah, nicely done there. No complaints from me.
Keep middle of a crest into 6 right, and keep right of a 2.
Absolutely flat out through this. Got to be careful on the side of the road. There's a kind of a trench being dug, I would think for drainage mostly. From New England, I should know these things. We don't have this many dirt roads, and that part is absolutely true. Nicely done round the hairpin then.
Right long, into 6 left of a crest, 80. Don't cut, 5 left of a crest.
Gotta say, he's using the road very well.
6 left.
You know, he's not necessarily panicking because of how narrow it is on that right side past the hills we were just going through.
4 right long tightens. Into 6 left, extra long. Into 6 right.
Tell you what, he definitely doesn't seem scared to go flat out here. He's really using the most of his car.
150. Right left of a crest, 140. turn, unseen, one right.
Unseen one right here. These are very tricky corners as well.
Opens through narrow
And
gate.
he's kind of taken the braking zone early, but he's done well. He's kept it clean either way. That can be really tricky, is just picking out the spots to
Cut
brake.
6 left of a dip. Into 5 right of a crest. Extra long.
Absolutely
Opens of a
incredible
crest,
stage this so
50.
far. He's making such light work of it. Very rarely are there
Middle of
mistakes
a
in this
crest,
run.
100. Keep
And any
left of a
mistakes he
crest,
does
jump,
make, he recovers from
120,
almost immediately.
Crest, jump, and
My
5
goodness,
right.
look how quick.
Into 6 left, don't cut, 100.
Open
Keep
fields
middle
here,
of a
has to be
crest,
careful.
big
He's
jump,
taken that
40.
very nicely.
4 left long, opens.
You think you can sometimes go faster in those
6 right.
open fields, but it does get
70.
slightly tricky, especially if you can't quite see the road in front of you.
4 right long, opens. Into 4 left long,
Almost at the
30.
end of the stage here.
6 right, opens long.
Really
Into
solid.
slow,
Using
6
every
left.
inch of the road that he
6
can.
right long, tightens turn, 3 long. Opens 30. 5 right long,
Nicely
Opens
taken the 3 right
30.
there.
4 right long, tightens 50.
Almost at the end.
4 right tightens.
It's no wonder he won this first round in New England and really,
Left, very long.
really
Tightens
put the
4
pedal to the
cut.
metal and took a
5 right of a crest.
took a
Into
good
5
advantage
left
going
long,
throughout the
caution,
season.
don't cut to a finish, just stop.
And that was a massive, massive stage from Jacko. And sometimes as we watch Elma Jacko's end of stage there and with the timing, sometimes you do just catch it slightly wrong, as we're going to see here with Electric Blade from the New England round, and he's just, oy, oy, oy. He's only just taken too much out of that corner, resulting in the roll from the wide angle here, and I believe, as you can see, he's just hit the inside, but these cars can take a beating, so he was able to get the car back up to speed here and get going quite quickly again. Now, personally, these Spain stages for me were some of my favorite out of the whole season. I did tend to favor having the tarmac
6
below
left,
you
30,
instead of
2 right,
the
opens
gravel.
6 long. Good luck.
So I believe this is one of my first stages from the first Ribidelis round. I have yet to actually watch this through, so it'll be interesting to see now that I've watched
3,
some of Jacko's
2,
clips, and I'll
1.
watch this one here.
56 left, 30. 3 right opens, 6 long, into 1 left long.
See, this is the thing. Yeah, you can definitely see a lot more sliding under braking there.
Into 3 right tightens.
Even being on the tarmac, this is,
50.
you know, Jacko's looked so much better even when he was on the gravel.
50.
A lot of it is confidence too. I mean,
Into big
these
cut.
stages are
Left.
quite
Into
difficult
5
as well
right
because you
long. Opens
kind of
of a
sometimes
crest
take them
into
a
5
little bit
left.
faster than you
Extra
can. I think I've done
long. Into big
quite
cut.
well through the
5
town
right.
here. No real huge
60.
mistake.
6 left, opens 30. 6 left, into 5 right tightens.
And you got to be careful as well because you don't
50.
really know what is waiting for you around the corner. So you hit the rock there on the outside just a little bit. I was able to gather it up.
Into 6 right, into cut, 5 left long, opens 100.
Little bit of hesitation on the throttle. That's a quite common theme watching my own replays here, is sometimes I'll be a little nervous putting down the pedal.
Into 3 right, 4 left.
I think for the most part I'm actually not seeing that much wrong with this stage, to be honest with you. This is one of my few good ones.
6 left long, tightens 4.
I think I sometimes tend to like the more...
Left of a 30,
Oh,
3 right
yep,
tightens.
that was a good save there. Slightly too much liberties taken with the width of the road, but I was able to hold on, so that's done nicely.
100.
Only slightly hurt my time.
3 left, 30, 2 right long, opens of a crest.
I do tend to sometimes favor some of the circuits with the tighter corners, such as the Catamarca province in Argentina stage. That one is a personal favorite of mine because really you just got to keep it on the road and you can take it as fast as you can.
Into 6 left,
Very,
into 3
to an F1 watcher, we would probably compare that to, say, a Monaco type circuit, just to how tight it is. But this one is decently wide open. You know, it's tricky in some spots because you got hills there to the left, but then you have the jagged rocks on the side of the road, and you hit that, it could seriously send the car for a spin. As we get to a tight one here, slight hesitation. A little hesitation there, but overall, halfway decent stage. And we'll just have a couple examples of taking it a little too risky. Also from the Spain rounds. You can see here, coming around this corner, just a little too liberal on the throttle, and I've hit the guardrail and whoa, straight into the tree. And this one here as well. The rain started falling. Slightly more difficult when you're on the rain in this stage. Tarmac does become very slippery, comparable to the gravel stages. And yet again, just too much of the inside there. And well, thankfully I didn't hit any of those people. But I was able for the most part to get that one turned around, and I almost killed that drone. And I was able to carry on again for the most part. Thankfully I didn't hit anything after that. Here we are in the night stage. This one's tricky because in these night stages sometimes you just simply can't find the braking zone quick enough. Quick contact with the barrier there on the outside. Very tricky sometimes to be able to see the upcoming corners, and here we go, just overshoot the corner, although thankfully I was able to back it down in time. And once again keep going.
Into 3 left, into 5 right.
This one, it has to be said, looks pretty clean. And then here, when you do hook it up correctly, it just looks so beautiful in towards this corner here, very much like the swimming pool chicane in Monaco F1. Just a brilliant sight to see when you get that one correctly. And we're going to see one here from Electric Blade from, I believe, the second New England round here. Of course, the base game content, there's only 6 locations, so this is the second time we visited the New England stages for round 7.
5, 4,
Let's see how Electric Blade
1
handles this.
Extra long. Keep in of a crest. Into 6 right of a crest. Jump. 100 of a crest.
Tell you what, yet again, looks pretty smooth there. Oh, that was almost a hiccup going over that transfer, but he's done well.
100.
Slightly late on the braking, but he's able to do well. He's actually got the runoff there. That's helped him out quite nicely.
Extra long of a crest. 50. Keep middle of a crest. Into 6 left long.
Tell you what, looking a good stage this so far.
Into 6 right.
Oh,
Slow 7.
aye. Does he get it turned around quick enough? Yes, he does. Well, he's actually done quite well with that. That was a huge hit, and he's lucky he didn't lose the lights.
4 left long, 30.
And he could have taken the hairpin corner there better, but
Keep right of a big jump.
No other complaints so far. He's had the mistake, but for the time being, he hasn't let it pile on, which is so crucial.
5 left long of a crest, tightens 3 of a very narrow bridge.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Come on, get it turned around. Yes.
Into 4 left long, opens.
He's lost
30.
the additional.
4 right long.
Well, no, he hasn't lost his life, has he? They're still there. I was thinking maybe there was another set on the
Over crest.
the hood of the car there, but it looks like he's kept it all together.
50. Keep left of a jump. 50. 6 left.
I will say, Electric Blade and Majako certainly really dominated the field this season.
Opens 50.
So it's interesting to see the similarities and the contrast between those two.
Into don't cut. 3 left long.
Oh, into the ditch there. Gets it rolled, but rights it yet again. I tell you what, he is very lucky he has not lost the headlights.
Cut. 5 right. Into 6 left long of a crest, tightens. 30.
The biggest difference, I think, so far between Electric and Jacko, I think Electric is slightly more gutsy with his throttle input, like the severity of it and the quickness, where I think Jacko is slightly more calculated. But either way, he is still rapid as he makes his way here. He's taken that actually quite brilliantly there. That one looked like it was going to get hairy for a second, but he's done well.
Into 3 right, caution, tightens turn 2.
He's going to have a 3 right and a 2 here. Does he overshoot? Oh, he's only just gone a little too deep in that corner. That was nearly brilliantly taken. Only slightly gone wrong.
Middle of a jump, 50.
Flat out through this. Nicely collected after the jump, after the first one. Second one, nicely done as well. Hairpin coming up. Long braking zone here. Oh, has he overshot? Well, I tell you what, he was able to pivot that car very nicely. Second hairpin coming up here, and again, he's able to pivot that car so nicely around the hairpins. That was brilliant.
50. 4 right long of a finish. Into 6 left long to stop.
Almost at the finish here. Let's see. Cuts as much as he can, nearly hits a rock, but he's done very well, Electric Blade, with this one. So with that, it's on to the Poland stages here. It was a round that found DNFs for 3 out of the top 4 drivers, including myself, but as well as El Majako and A-Dub as well. These were definitely very difficult stages to deal with here. And so this is my first stage of the round, so let's go ahead and see what exactly has gone wrong.
Turn 6 right of a crest, 6 left.
Starts off pretty okay, but then as you can see, it really starts to get quite narrow in these stages. I mean, these Poland stages were so narrow. I mean, it was actually quite, it was very difficult to go through. Any slight mistake you had would be punished. You had no runoff whatsoever. And, yeah, it's definitely kind of not fun to relive here. I'm having some flashbacks at the moment. This was not a fun stage. But at the moment, everything looks to be going quite all right. No massive hiccups at the moment. Nice use of the shoulder there on the left side. Oh, and it's just hit the back end there. And it sent the car for a spin, but at the moment, it's still a drivable car.
Into 6 right, into 6 left long, 30.
You can start to see now, though, I think I was feeling a lot more tentative than I was to begin with, because now you can start to see, as running into the side of the hill then. 3 right coming up here. That's a tree, and that's a puncture on the left side. This is quite a long stage as well, so that puncture is not going to help anything, that part's for sure.
Keep right to the 30, turn.
And obviously going to go wide through that corner. Naturally, with the puncture, you're just losing so much turning ability. And this stage in particular, you need a lot of it, and that, I think I just kind of forgot where the corner was, to be honest.
Opens long, tightens of a jump.
You know, sometimes even if you do get punctures, you can start to carry on just a little bit, as much as you can, so long as it's on the front end of the car, because if you get a rear puncture, every single time you tap the brakes, the back end of the car will come around, and it is very not fun to deal with. But at the moment, I tell you what, I'm still keeping all right pace, despite having the puncture on the left side.
6 left, very long, tightens of a bump.
Holds on to it. Wow! Well, we got close to that tree there, didn't we?
Into slow, 6 left of a crest, 30, turn.
I tell you what, as a driver in this scenario, it really, you absolutely want to refuse taking the minute to repair the puncture as much as you can, because it does hinder your time quite seriously, that minute.
Opens of a crest, 50.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit that sign there, hit another tree, makes sense. Hit the logs on the left. Yeah, you could definitely tell I'm struggling to push this car to its limits for a stage that really started quite well. It's gone rather downhill quite quickly. You can kind of hear over my microphone there if you listen closely. That's my force feedback going, and I am really trying to wheel this car. Maybe for future rounds next season I'll add face cam with it. That might be fun. But for now, yep, hit the side there, through the bush. I'm not quite sure how that bush turned me around like that. And obviously you're stuck against the barriers then. You'll take the recovery penalty. Those definitely don't hurt as much as the puncture penalties, that part's for sure.
Into 5 left tightens. Into 4 right long. Over junction, middle. 6 left, extra.
Yeah, going wide there, hit the tree.
170.
And hit the other tree just for fun as well. It's no wonder that so many drivers had difficulty with this stage. I'm just watching it again. This is incredibly challenging location. Unseen one right coming up here into whoever's field of flowers that is. Rest in peace to that. Missed the corner naturally. I gotta say, that's quite a big problem I have, is sometimes just forgetting the co-driver's pace notes.
Extra long, tightens turn. 5 left, opens 80.
As we saw along with Jacko's clips, the co-driver was reading his calls a lot later than I have mine here. I have mine earlier, and I may need to adjust that. Because as you can tell, in some of these corners, I do just struggle to remember how tricky the corner is or how tight it is. And into the little city here, we're going to have a chicane coming up here. I bet you that's a really fun portion of the track to take when you have all 4 tires on the car.
40, turn 2 left around Vale Tarmac. Keep left over 160.
Only about halfway through this stage. And that puncture definitely taking its toll very much, adding to the lost time. I didn't realize this at first, but if I had at least finished the rally, I probably could have made up some really good points to the rest of the grid. I think I maybe could have challenged BK for the win. Or, yeah. I mean, I don't think I would have been faster than Electric Blade. And he finished second this round. But I think I could have at least had the podium, but hindsight is 20/20 vision, as they say. And this section of the track just so high speed and narrow on both sides, and I'm actually quite surprised I haven't binned it yet.
Middle of a crest and flat right, 100. Keep left of a jump, 50. 6 right, opens of a crest.
Oh boy, there we go. Yep, on the hill. Wow, how did I not hit anything there?
60.
Feels weird to commentate over myself, but that's what we've got.
Opens of a crest into 6 left long.
Oh boy.
Caution.
Yep.
Tightens
Good
3
save
of a
then.
crest.
Back end of the car didn't come round as much as it probably should have.
Into 4 right.
Oh, gotta hold on there. Hits the sign.
Keep middle of a crest.
Again, I haven't hit anything hard enough to be terminal. That's the thankful part.
6 left of a crest.
But,
30. 4 right long.
Definitely hitting many things here. Oh, do we go over? Yes, we do. The roll and the tree again. And I don't know why I continued to drive into it, but yeah, that makes sense. Wasn't that bad of a roll, but I wasn't able to recover that quickly, considering it was like kind of corkscrew roll rather than a barrel roll, if that makes sense.
Into 6 left long. Tightens of a crest. Into 4 right long.
I will say, aside from the mistakes, I am pulling some halfway decent. Now, I don't know how that one wasn't terminal. That was quite the hit there, has to be said. I was saying, despite the mistakes, I'm actually putting together some halfway decent pace. Which is quite surprising, because any pace I am getting is being negated by the mistakes making. Because again, this car is just so difficult to drive on the 3 tires. Thankfully, almost at the end of the stage here.
Opens of a crest. Into 6 left long of a crest. 100.
There does come a point when you start to give up on playing it safe. You know, you're already on the 3 tires. You don't want to find any more, you know, recovery penalties or take the penalty for the puncture. You're just going to go balls to the wall realistically, and if you end up retiring, that's going to be all right. And I think that's probably where I am at this point. Chicane coming up here. Ooh, another hit then.
Turn, don't cut 3 left long.
Tell you what, I almost took it okay, but then the car just continued to slide. I just went in a little too hot for the chicane. Thankfully to the tarmac here. Back to the gravel. Mostly flat out through this section here. Got a 4 coming up, but thankfully at least some runoff for at least temporarily then. Grass.
Caution, 36 right, tightens of a jump. 30.
I must say, it is very interesting to watch this back. I totally forgot. Oh, and see, that there, I was very confused about at the time. Because I didn't actually think I had hit that spectator, but, well, I definitely hit him. In hindsight, looking back at it, I definitely ran that man over.
Opens.
Thankfully, in the final sector of the stage now.
80.
Definitely suspension damage.
4 left, tightens.
You know, vehicle alignment. Not to mention the cooling in the turbo and the radiator. This car has definitely seen better days, but if I can just make it crawl to the line here. Again, I think if I actually continued through with the rally and didn't retire in the 3rd stage, I probably could have had a fair shout for a podium.
Keep middle of a jump, 120.
And you're towards the end here, really just got to full send it. One final push if you can, up to the 3 right here. You can see how early I hit the brakes on that one, and still went wide on the exit.
6 left of a crest long, opens 80.
Back to the tarmac.
5 right, of a dip.
You're pretty much at the finish here. And I tell you what, oh goodness me. What a calamity that stage was. My goodness. Not even funny how bad that was. Look at my car.
Starts flat left 50.
And so this now is El Majako's stage from Poland, in which he DNF'd. Now, we were talking earlier about how Jacko pretty much had the field's number the entire season, but he almost let Electric Blade back into the picture, as this DNF in this location would prove hugely detrimental. Electric Blade finished second in each rally this season. His consistency was truly ridiculous here, and this was the only stage, this was the only location this entire season. They finished higher than Majacko, but this could have been a huge turning point in the season if Jacko wasn't able to overcome it in Spain and throughout the rest. At the moment, as you can tell, very cleanly going. Definitely not afraid to step on it here. Looking good. Oh! And he's upside down. Wow, so he's hit that tree upside down is what he's done. He's taken the penalty only 9 seconds. That one's actually quite that much of a gift there, I'd say. That one could have been a lot worse. And so now this is probably where I would guess the difficulty would begin. The car's certainly out of alignment. 12 seconds slower than the leader at the time. But still looking decently competitive here.
Into 4 left long, into turn 1 right. Opens long, tarmac.
One right coming up here. Takes it nicely onto the tarmac.
Opens of a crest, gravel, 50.
I tell you what, he's really, despite the difficulties he's facing, he's really...
Jump into 5 left of a crest, tightens very long into 6 right, 50. 4 right,
Just wondering where he actually finds the end of the road on this one, because at the moment it does look like, despite the roll in the beginning, he does have very good control over the car, enough to still look for the win. So I'm interested to see to where it happens.
4 right long. Into slow, 6 left of a crest, 30.
And he's made up already 6 seconds through that stage.
6 left, 100.
12 seconds slower at the first sector. He's erased 6 seconds off of that. So to this point in time, still very much within reach of the win.
Extra long of a junction, 30.
We'll say once the car is caved in there on the front, you can kind of see it may be hard to tell where the outer extremities of the car is, and maybe at that point slightly more difficult to tell where you are on the road, but for the time being he looks pretty solid here. Closing into halfway through the stage, all is right so far. Aside from the roll, no other mistakes really. He has a really good handle on the car. Oh, that might be a start. Oh boy, here we go. That's the same place I lost it. He's only 5 minutes faster. Shaves off another 2 seconds through that sector.
Caution, 5 right long, tightens 4. Slow 50, turn unseen, 1 right.
Unseen 1 right, takes it well.
Extra long of a crest.
Oh, that was the 1 right.
60 of a bumps.
I happen to be an idiot.
4 left, extra long, tightens turn. 5 left, opens 80.
Still some great control.
4 left at Bale, don't cut.
Again, has to be said, I do not see many, if all, any at all mistakes here. I think he's got a really solid handle on this car, as he's had the entire season. And as I was saying before, the sector looks a lot more fun when you got the car intact for the most part.
Keep left over 160. Turn unseen, don't cut 3 right long, tightens 2. 30.
Handles that transition pretty decently there, maybe a little hot on exit.
6 left long, 50. Over jump, 50. 6 left long, 50.
Absolutely flat out here, my goodness me. Really putting the pedal down here. And the control he has through this still unbelievably narrow section of the track is quite impressive.
Keep left of a jump, 50, 6 right, opens of a crest, 50, 5 right, 60.
Still a relatively quick section of the track. He doesn't.
Opens of a crest, into 6 left long, caution, tightens 3 of a crest,
Here comes a rather tight corner. Does he overshoot it? Nope, he holds it so well. Once again, tight section of the track. No runoff whatsoever.
6 left of a crest, slow 30, 4 right long.
Oh, this might begin here. Oh, well, I tell you what, not a bad outcome for the hit.
Left of a crest, into flat, right of a crest, into 4 left. Opens of a crest, into 6 left long, tightens of a crest, into 4 right long. Into 6 left of a crest jump.
Oh, okay, yeah, I thought it was going to happen there. He's actually held on to it still.
To keep middle of a 170.
My goodness me. Absolutely flat out, 192 kilometers an hour at max speed. Incredible the pace he's pulling out of this car, which still by, at least, you know, his standards has quite a bit of damage on it.
Turn 4 right.
Was at 13 seconds faster when he was 12 seconds down earlier in the stage.
Into 2 right, tightens tarmac. Into 5 left, caution 100 to chicane.
Onto the tarmac here, coming up on the chicane.
30.
See how he handles it. Maybe nicks the inside, but not enough to slow down the car. Brilliantly taken. Really close to the end of the stage now.
5 gravel, 60.
Back onto the gravel, that transition.
Crest past junction. 30. Crest and 5 right long over crest and 6 right, 6 left long. Caution 30.
Quite flat out through most of this here. Jump coming up. How does he handle it? Oh boy, there's the cameraman I killed early. Ooh! Wow. 117 kilometers an hour then. And we're on now with Electric Blade in Poland as well, as I believe he'll take a spill here. Oh, yep, and he's just hit the outside. Wow. Good luck counting the rolls on that one. He is really gone for a ride then, but it does look as if he will get the thing. Well, I guess this is his editing here. I guess he will get the car back up and going, but again, he's just slapped the outside there on the hill and gone for several rolls then, that one. Quite the big impact.
Starts 40.
And we're going to finish it out here with Jacko. Couple of rounds from him at the New Zealand stages.
5, 4.
Let's see what he's got here.
1. 40. 6 left.
Now the New Zealand stages was the final round of the season, but this is the first trip to New Zealand this season. This was round 6.
50.
I did quite enjoy these New Zealand stages, actually. They were pretty fun, and for the most part, the elevation wasn't too ridiculous, so you were able to, you know, kind of see everything that was coming up in front of you. That was really helpful. And as you can see already, so cleanly.
6 left, tightens, turn 2 left.
Get the 2 left coming up here, brakes quite early, but does well. I mean, his braking is just so pinpoint and coordinated.
Maybe 30. 3 right long, tightens 2.
Nice usage of the entirety of the
3 left, 60.
road then.
Turn 5 right, extra long, opens flat of a crest, 80. Flat left of a
Gets a
jump,
bit narrow up here, very similar to the Poland stages we witnessed earlier, but still completely flat out.
of a crest long, tightens 3.
5 seconds quicker through that first sector.
Into 2 left long, tightens. Into 5 right, tightens 4. Extra long, tightens.
I find it incredible just the pinpoint accuracy he has with his turning. It's like he just realizes what the track is going to do. You know, realistically, unless you spend time practicing, you're going into most of these stages blind, and I have no doubt that he's spent a lot of time on this game, but still, you don't think about all of that when you're in the middle of the stages, and you really have to take it inch by inch, brand new, blind every single time. And I tell you what, he is very impressive at just being able to read the road and how it's going to be able to react.
Into slight left and narrow, 4 right.
Gets narrow up here again.
Left and 3 left, don't cut to
Oh, he may be, oh, and I tell you what, he's held on to it pretty okay then. That may have
of a crest.
sent him for a ride if he wasn't careful.
Right, small cut, 30. 4 left long, opens 40. Keep right of a jump maybe into 5 left long, 50. Keep left into 5 right long, opens of a jump maybe. Into 6 left of a jump long.
Jump perhaps coming up here. First one.
6 right. Into 5 left.
Well, didn't really
extra
happen,
long.
but
Opens
downhill
keep right
section
of
of
a
the track,
jump.
this absolutely
Into
massive
6
speed,
left long,
nearly
tightens,
200 kilometers an
70.
hour, and he's just able to hold on to the car and not panic under the speed.
50. 6 left, extra long, tightens 3.
12 and a half seconds quicker through that third sector.
2 right long, tightens.
It's almost as if he could just simply
Opens into open heavy right
oh,
long.
that was nearly a mistake then, but he's held on to it. Hairpin coming up here. How does he handle it?
Into 6 left, into 5 right.
Not bad, not bad.
Into 6 left long, tightens of a crest. Into 5 right long, tightens. Into unseen, 2 left, extra long.
Nearly the end of the stage here, and it has to be said, this is such a
4
clean
right,
run.
Small cut.
Uses every
4
inch
left
of the
long,
road.
Opens of a crest, into 6 right. 70. Cut 6 right, into 5 left long of a crest, narrow. Into 4 right.
He's definitely not afraid to
Into turn 3 right.
build up a lot of speed here. That's the thing you'll notice on his telemetry in the bottom right there. Constant trying to accelerate each and every time.
Into 6 left to stop.
You know, he's never really hesitant on the throttle. He's really going for it. And he finishes that stage 16 seconds quicker than the rest of the grid. Unbelievable stuff.
Starts 120.
And so we're going to leave you with it here.
Tightens over crest. Jump.
Jacko, another
Into 4
stage
right.
of New Zealand
Good
here.
luck.
Season 2 coming up in just a couple of weeks' time. Hopefully,
3, 2,
we really maintain the amount of drivers that we had. We had consistently about 10 drivers race each round. And if you do own Dirt Rally 2.0 and you're looking to get in on the club, it has to be said, we've seen a lot of Jacko and we've seen a lot of Electric Blade, but the skill level does vary quite a lot. And it is always a very competitive time, you know. There was a lot of
middle of a narrow
consistency and competitiveness across the division this year, so hopefully, if you want to get some
crest. Slow 50.
more
turn,
rallying
1
under your belt, you can join the rally club.
Opens.
Hotspot's been a pleasure joining you on this highlight reel review of the inaugural season
6 left long,
of the
150.
Midwest eSports Rally Cup.
3 left long.
Once again, congratulations to El Jacko, this season's champion, and I have no doubt that he's going to follow up with another solid result through season 2.
Into 4 left. 60. 6 right. Into 5 left tightens. Into 3 right tightens. 30. 5 left long, tightens 2. 30. Turn 3 right tightens. 50. 4 left, extra long, tightens. 150. Flat left. Flat right over crest long, 30. Flat left. Slow 6 left over crest, 30. Turn 1 left. 120. 6 right into unseen, 3 left long tightens. Into 5 right long, tightens 3. Into don't cut, 2 left, 30 over crest. Into 3 right long, 50. Into don't cut, 6 left, 30 over crest. 4 right long over crest, 30. 5 left, extra long over crest, 50. Keep right over crest, 140. Slow, 5 left tightens into 3 right long. Into don't cut, 4 left. Into 4 right long, tightens, 30. Flat left, and keep right into 6 left long, 50. 6 right, small cut, 30, 6 left long, into 6 right of a crest, extra long. Just slow crest, and 6 left long, tightens 1, tightens. 40. 1 right long, 50. 3 right long, into 5 left long, tightens 2. Into 2 right long, opens 6 long, into 4 left, into slow 4 right, and 1 left long, tightens. 50. Flat crest, 50. Keep left of a crest, 30. Unseen, 1 right long. Into 5 left of a crest. Into 3 right long, 80. 1 left long. 30. Crest and 6 right, 50. 5 left long, into unseen, 1 right tightens. Opens long, 50. 1 left, tightens of a crest. 30. Turn unseen, 2 right. Opens 100. Crest and 3 right long. Into 3 left long, tightens 1 long, tightens small cut. Into 1 right, 30. 4 left long, opens of a crest, 40. 5 left and 3 right of a crest, of a finish,